Happy birthday, Leo! Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is your weekly tarot forecast for the week of August 15th through 21st. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, especially if this resonates with you. I do recommend that you watch the other videos for your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. These videos may resonate more with your moon or your ascendant placement. So do go check out the other two videos that apply to you in your case. All right, we're going to get right into it for Leo for the week of August 15th through 21st. Let's see what messages are for Leo. What does Leo need to know? Well, we have the Three of Wands. This is a wonderful way to start out the week. I feel like you're taking your power back kind of this week. And we have the Six of Swords, Two of Discs, a little Ten of Swords here. All right. Not too much major arcana here. We're going to start with the major arcana. We don't usually do that, but this time we will. We have the Death card as the major arcana, the heavyweight influence in your situation. And this is really representing you and where you're at in your headspace, in your life, in your ego, in your kind of outward functioning and your consciousness, right? I think that you are consciously going through this period of transformation. I feel like your life is really headed in a new direction. I feel like you're maybe in this place where you're ready for a new direction. You're ready for some evolution and some change in your life. Or you've been undergoing this process for some time now. But I feel like this is something that's really on your mind now, is this Death card. This idea of transformation, of really kind of growing and blossoming out of the old decay. All right, so whatever in the past, I think in the last couple of readings for you, we had some kind of turmoil going on. I think there was a lot for you to kind of think about. There was a lot of heavy stuff, I think, going on with you, Leo. And I think that was all part of this bigger transformation for you. I feel like this is kind of just part of the plan. This is part of the way things are supposed to go for you to shed your old skin, so to speak, and to really embark on this new process of growth, this new flowering and blossoming of your life, of your soul, of your path, okay? So we're going to get back to that, but let's focus a little bit on some of these other cards. First, we had the Three of Wands. So I think this is you really regaining or giving birth anew to this confidence, this assertion, this very kind of self-possessed and powerful attitude that you have. So I think with the Three of Wands here, it's a lot of fiery energy, but this is fiery energy that's very close to the source, very close to the spiritual wellspring, so to speak. So I think this is really you tapping into those primal powers, that real base confidence and assertiveness and power that you have. So I think this really is the week for you to take your power back into your own hands, take your life into your own hands, take your future into your own hands, okay? Now, crossing your path this week, I don't know if this is an obstacle or a blessing, but we have the Six of Swords. This is the result of a lot of analysis, a lot of consideration, a lot of contemplation and meditation, a lot of figuring and reasoning and planning, and a lot of just kind of fact-checking yourself, you know. So I think that you've been undergoing a lot of analysis, or this is the week for you to really stop, and with this regain of your confidence, your power, your assertion, your spiritual fire, we can call it. With all of that, I think you have to stop and kind of check yourself. You have to stop and analyze the situation and use your mind and your intellect and your clever wit and just get a nice balanced sense of what's going on. Really analyze things and see what path you're on and see where you're going from here. So this is about the formulation of plans that has now led to this really stable mind, this really kind of centered attitude where you're very calm and sure and centered in your beliefs and in your plans and strategies and, in your thinking. I think there's going to come some real clarity with that Six of Swords. Okay, the six are a very balanced, very harmonious number for the tarot card. So it's really a good place to be in terms of your headspace, nice, calm, clear thinking. And I think that really is coming directly to help that newfound confidence and power and assertiveness and that spiritual fire that you're regaining, right? Or that you're going to see that kind of growing this week. I think that in either the past readings that we've done for you, or maybe you're going to be experiencing a little bit of this in this coming week, maybe towards the beginning of the week. But this Ten of Swords energy, I feel like we've had this for you before, or something very similar. And I think that you will be reaching or have already reached the end of your efforts with something. If we consider the last couple of readings for you, I don't remember exactly what we said in those last two readings for the month and for the week. But I think there was some kind of an important decision for you to make. Maybe there was, there was a choice between a couple different paths in your life, or just where to focus your energy, that sort of thing. And I think what has happened or will be happening is that you're really at the end of your rope. You're kind of fed up with the efforts that you've been making in this one direction. Things haven't worked out. Your efforts to relate, to communicate, to nurture and foster and grow this relationship, whatever the relationship or whoever the relationship was with, I think you've reached the end of that kind of path. Okay, with the 10 here, it's as low as it can go. It's as concrete and as manifested and as crystallized, as physical as it can get. And I think there's no other place for it to go but in a different direction. Okay, so I think that you've exhausted your efforts to fix whatever situation wasn't working for you in the past couple weeks or the past month. I think that you've put in all the effort. You've really tried to do the work and compromise and communicate and foster that relationship, but it didn't work. It's at the end of its path, and now that energy is going in a different direction. I think it's being channeled back into you to fuel this return of your confidence and just your kind of really proud, like Leo attitude about life, right? Where you're gonna put yourself first. And I think with this kind of renewal of this power and energy, you're going to just take on the world, and you are going to begin in the immediate future. You're going to begin a new cycle in your life. I think this is the key word for this Four of Wands is completion, right? And I think in this sense, you're going to move forward into the future knowing that the door is closed to the past. You've completed that cycle. You've completed that phase of your spiritual growth, the evolution of you on your life path. And in the future, you're going to be embarking on a new cycle, a new path, and some kind of new direction with all of this newfound confidence and assertiveness and this proud Leo attitude, right? So I think that in the immediate future, you're going to see the beginnings of this kind of new path, something for you to focus all of your planning, all of your fiery spiritual energy, something to focus all of that on. Okay, so you're definitely shutting the door on that past, whatever this was that didn't work out, this terrible 10 of Swords that is just the completion of this particular path of you trying to establish this relationship or fix this relationship. And I don't know if it was with a person or with an employer or with a family member, but whatever situation you were in, you were really trying really hard to fix that interaction, that relationship that you had with someone, the way that the two of you related. And you just got to the end of your rope. I think you're going to be understanding, if you don't already, that there's no chance for that to be fixed or reestablished. With the 10s, it's at the end of the cycle, like I said. Try not to repeat myself too much here, but you're at the end of your cycle there, the end of your rope, the end of your efforts to do that. But you're having this restoration of your pride, your energy, your spiritual fire, your confidence. And that, with a clear head and clear thinking and this kind of self-possessed, centered attitude, you're going to be embarking on these very new and wonderful adventures. So it's going to be just the beginning of a new path, a new cycle of things for you. And it may not look drastically different. It may not be a complete night and day from what you've been used to. It could be a more subtle beginning to some kind of new phase in how you behave, how you feel, how you are creating yourself. But we have the two of discs down here at the bottom of the spread, and this is telling me that it is kind of a foundational thing, this change, and it kind of is going from night and day. So I think you may be either looking for this black and white change, this really night and day difference in your life, or this may actually be what is coming. But I think that this is something that you're expecting. And whether it's going to be a little bit more subtle than that, I don't know. The future will show you. But I do see that there are new cycles, new phases of your life approaching. And the expectation here is that it's going to be a drastic difference. It's going to be like night and day, right? We have the white sphere and the black sphere here. And you really think it's going to be that stark of a contrast. And it may be. But don't count on that 100%, okay? I feel like as another heavy influence in this situation is this this communication thing, because we saw with the Ten of Swords that there was a lot of efforts in communication, and now I see like there's more, like maybe this person or this entity that we were talking about with the Ten of Swords, the thing that's kind of run its course. I think maybe they're going to keep trying with you. They're going to keep coming at you with this energy of just, kind of frantic communication where it's just like they're trying to convince you not to end things. So I feel like that's a major influence now, is just these other people or this other person who is just really coming at you with a lot of information or trying to convince you of something. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm beginning a feeling like, if this isn't directly the person that we're talking about here, this is someone else in your life that's really trying to influence you, and they have like this very kind of frantic, urgent energy about them where they're really trying to just convince you to do something else or make a different decision. So be on the lookout for that person too, or you may already know who that person is. You may be experiencing that already. Now, in terms of your environment, or in terms of this other person that we were talking about with the Ten of Swords, well, look here, we have the Eight of Swords. So this really is just kind of bad luck. This card is just really about things getting in the way of things. This is about misinformation. This is about kind of getting in our own way or self-sabotaging. I think this is communication that we kind of, through our own doings, we kind of just like ruin it, you know what I mean? So I think this other person, while they may really have had the good intentions to communicate with you and to kind of reestablish this relationship with you, or to foster or nurture or repair this communication and this relationship, I feel like they're just constantly doing things that just set the whole process back. You know what I mean? Like you may take a step forward and then you take 2 steps back. Or they are doing that. It's not, I didn't mean to say it was you. I think you've been putting in the steady efforts, and you've kind of exhausted everything that you could think of to get this thing working, whatever this thing is. But I feel like they make the effort, but then they just kind of sabotage things and set things back, right? This card is all about interference, and it might just be something that they're doing unconsciously, right? Where they just, something in them is just kind of sabotaging the efforts and sabotaging this process that the two of you were going through. So I really feel like that is a big part of their energy, and that could definitely be contributing to this kind of the completion, the end of the rope for you in terms of that communication and that relationship with them. Okay, so I think that's where they're coming from. And look, more swords. We have the Seven of Swords, and this is in the position of your fears and worries. So I think, this reading today isn't so much about this situation with all of these swords, right? There are a lot of swords popping up, I think, because this is something that you're still processing all of this, or you will be processing it this week to kind of just clear it from your system, right? So the more you understand, the better, I think. But the main message is not like, oh, this relationship just didn't work out. That's not the main message, although these seem to be very important factors in the reading today. So the Seven of Swords, I think this is or was your kind of worry or fear that you will keep trying to do this thing with this person and to fix this relationship, but it's just never going to work, and you're just going to continually try and try and try, and nothing's going to come of it. Your efforts are just going to be wasted. It's going to be miserable. I think that was your worry, that despite reaching the end of your rope and kind of the end of you trying to fix this thing, I feel like part of you wants to just keep trying, even though you know it's never going to work. Part of you wants to be this Seven of Swords, where you'll keep trying and trying and trying, knowing that it's not going to go anywhere, that nothing's going to improve, right? So I think that's kind of in the back of your mind, that you don't want to fall into that kind of pattern or that habit, because I think maybe you know yourself enough to kind of see like, well, you have a tendency to do that, or that's something that you could kind of easily fall into, and you really don't want that. What you want is this really fiery spiritual energy, this confidence and assertiveness and this self-possession. And you're clearly understood and calm, plans for the future, plans for your own life, your own success. And in the more long-term future, we see the Ten of Cups. So this is ultimate fulfillment. This is getting everything that you want. This is really just getting almost an overwhelming amount of love and joy and pleasure and success and good things. So I really think going from the Ten of Swords, which is just bad news, to the Ten of Cups, which is just all good news, right? So I think this is really about your life changing from these efforts here that just haven't gone anywhere, that have been miserable and exhausting and really unproductive, closing the door on that, starting this new phase, this new cycle that's leading to your ultimate joy, ultimate pleasure, ultimate satisfaction and achievement. So Leo, I really think that things are looking really bright for you, especially this week. I think you're going to really start to see all of these kind of feelings and energies get processed through you, and you're going to be opening up to this new mode, this new phase, this new path towards this ultimate success and happiness, okay? Leo, if you want to stick around for the extended version of this, you can become a member to this channel, and all the information is down in the description box. This was your weekly tarot forecast for the week of August 15th through 21st. Thank you.